I was on a huge downswing, losing session after session, just getting beat down. And I took the cards and I this is years ago, and I chucked them off the table. Turmoil has struck. You know, I just watched some old videos that we've done together, and to amp me up, to give me some motivation. It was months of just talking about how hard I was upswinging.
Yeah. You're like, it's never, dude, I don't know how we're going to keep doing the pod if all I'm doing is winning, man.
Well, the winning has stopped.
Yay.
And the last, and it was abrupt. It was like the year started off good, but then 3 weeks is all it took for hell to rain down, poker wise. And I got absolutely torched for a solid 2.5 weeks straight, where no matter, like, it's the complete opposite reversal. No matter what happened, something horrible went wrong. A cooler happened, or a massive pot just didn't go my way. I'll say this, the last hand I played, now I'm on break. I'm taking my own advice. I took
vacation.
I played one more game than I should have. I should have taken a break a little sooner, and it cost me 6 figures. I took a break after there was like 3 or 4 massive losing sessions in a row. Some of my biggest losses ever in my career, all back to back to back, and it shook me. And so I took a week off to reset. The games have been great, so I really didn't feel like taking a break. But I did notice I was playing poorly, and it was getting to me. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take a week off. I'll play next week. And I regrouped. I worked out a bunch and got mentally right. And I played the following week, and I sat down. I felt great. I started the session off winning, and then the bad run just hit hard, and it was even like I was playing better, but it was even worse than the 3 or 4 previous sessions. Like, I remember particularly like getting queens to aces in a huge spot with like a $200 straddle on, and I lose like a $35K pot. It's all in pre. Very next hand, get dealt queens again. Very next hand, queens to aces for another like $35K pot with a huge straddle on. So it's queens to aces, back-to-back hands, and I get stacked twice. But I'm still feeling fine, and I reload, and the game's good. So like I'm not trying to give it attention. I'm not trying to give the attention of all the previous huge losing sessions before that. And I was like, just reset and keep going. And then the deck, it's just the rest of the night, the deck is brutal.
Yeah.
Where it just doesn't matter. I'm losing massive pot after massive pot. And the last hand I play is the game got shorthanded, and the third guy, we were playing 3-handed for a while, and then that guy left, and then me and this guy wanted to play heads up. And so like 15 minutes into the heads up match, I get dealt 2 10s, and he opens, and I 3-bet, and he tanks forever and calls, and I have 2 black 10s, and he started the hand with like 65K, and I have him covered. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting crushed all night. I play a spot versus the big action player where I slow play jacks, and he's a very emotional spazzy player, and so he was down in the session, and I trapped with jacks, and it was a spot. I just thought it was a perfect spot, and I played with versus this guy so many times where, like, I thought I played the hand perfectly, and I think I did. He just happened to have aces, where he's just ready to punt off his stack, and normally he has so many random hands, and he had aces, and I I get stacked again, and it's just getting bombarded hand after hand all night. And then it accumulates in the last hand I play. We're playing heads up, and he raises, and I 3-bet 2 black tens. He tanks forever. Like everything.
2 black tens again?
No, this is the final.
Okay.
So he tanks forever, and I'm paying attention to the details, and he thinks about folding, he thinks about raising, and he usually is a fast player. So this kind of throws me off. The amount of time it took for him to call pre-flop, and then he lands on just call. And so there's like 7,200, 7,400 in the middle, something like that. Mm-hmm. We're playing big. I think we're playing 200, 400, and the flop is 10, 8, 5 rainbow. So we flop the absolute blade, top set.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We c-bet. He calls. The turn is a queen of hearts, brings two hearts. We bet half pot. He calls. The river is a 3.
What are you possibly putting him on here now?
Well, there's tons of stuff. There's
his range is infinite.
There's
right?
There's tons of queens. There's
heads up
6, 7, 9, 7. There's pocket 5s, pocket 8s. There's 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s.
Because heads up, the ranges have got to be infinite, right? Like,
well,
not infinite. But really,
the way he tanked pre-flop and thought about all of his options, which he normally plays really quick, so it kind of threw me off. Like maybe he's slow playing an overpair. Maybe he thought about folding. Like, yeah, it's a weird spot, and so I lead out on the river 16,000 into 24K, and he shoves for 50. So it's like it's roughly like 35,000 to call. And I mean, my brain was just I've been beaten down for, this is like going on the third week straight, and multiple 6-figure losing sessions. And I finally have the spot. Like, I'm heads up and I have top set, and he shoves, and it's just everything in me. I'm like, oh my God, like I lose this one too. And I open my hand. Like, this is the reaction of a lot of, like, you open your hand and you're like, okay, your head's up in the spot. Like, do you find yourself in these spots with like much better hands than this? Like you flop top set. Yes. Like, yeah. Like immediately in your mind, okay, Jack 9 beats you and a set of queens, and that's it. You beat all the other, you beat Queen 8 suited, you beat Queen 5 suited, you beat Queen 10, you beat kings, you beat aces, you beat a set of 5s, you beat a set of 8s. So it's like, there's a part of you where it's like, you don't want to slow roll the guy, because you only lose to 2 hands. But when all you're doing is losing, like you see the monster under the bed, and it's like, oh God, like I'm losing this, like I'm going to lose this hand. Holy shit. But it's like, how do you fold? So I open my hand and I look at it, and then like I put the money in and I table it, and he just has Jack 9 offsuit.
Oh my God.
So it's like 30K pot, and I'm in the game for infinite. And this guy, me and this guy have a good relationship, and he doesn't play for a living, but he understands poker, and he's watched me get my face pounded in all night. Mm-hmm. And he's watched it for the last like weeks, and he's like, yeah, I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, this is an amazing spot. I'm playing versus a recreational, heads up, high stakes, but
and you got top set with like, what the fuck else?
Well, no, it's like, do I continue to play? But I mean, I was so discouraged. I was like, okay, like I don't think I can he's like, yeah, like we should just stop. Like this is, yeah. So,
fuck, man.
So yeah, I was like, yeah, I think I'm done. It was, I don't want to like talk exact numbers, but it was a large sum of money for those 4 or 5 sessions over the course of like 2.5 weeks that accumulated into that last hand. And, I finally waved the white flag and I was like, I gotta take a break. So yeah, I'm on break right now.
Good. I think that's a good thing.
And yeah.
So when you go on break, you
can't have the good without the bad.
No.
And now we're
thought we could have the
bad.
good without the bad for a while.
Yeah. Like, can you just run well forever? Yeah. It's, no, you can't.
Dude, I mean, I was wondering, like, when you get beaten down like this and you decide to go on break, do you keep it local and go on break around here, or do you just say, fuck it, I'm getting on an airplane, I'm going to Cancun, I'm going to lock myself in a hotel room for
it wouldn't be Cancun, but yeah, I want to get, I would like to go somewhere for, and unplug for a bit. But like I have obligations now. So it's a little tougher, but I think I'm going to find a couple weeks to unplug and get away. Yeah. But I mean, also, like, if you're listening to this and you play for it, like, there's a lot of people in scenarios where you can't, like you can't afford it. You have, either you're tied to a job that's supporting you while you're chasing poker, and you have to just make whatever you can afford, work for you. And yeah, with the schedule and everything I have, like right now, I think just not playing is the best move. I was talking to some friends last night. You really have to be prepared to lose when you sit down and play poker. And right now, like, I can handle winning, but I can't handle losing. And when you're in that mind frame of, like, when you just feel beaten down, the loss, like losing a big pot, or you just immediately feel like, okay, so this is not going to go well.
Yeah, when your thought process, instead of being like, all right, we're just playing heads up, instead of that, it's how am I going to lose this one? When you have top set, then it's over.
Yeah, when you're unable to brush the losses off, you have to. I think you have to step away, or you're just going to be hemorrhaging your bankroll, and you're just going to not be thinking clearly. Like, so until I'm prepared to handle the swings again, and I'm just not going to get back in there.
So how do you know when you're ready to go back?
That's a good question. Maybe when you like really miss the game, and there's I don't know, it's that's kind of like you have to know yourself. I think there can be some like false tells in you, and you can act like you're ready to go back, and then when adversity strikes, or you lose a pot, or the set, and you are visibly like upset, or you get emotional, then okay, I didn't take a long enough break.
Yeah.
I think when you're truly ready to go back, you can sit back down, you can get beaten down, you can have a losing session, and keep your composure. I think that's a good indicator that you've taken enough time off. But I was losing it. And that's a reason I went back through some some of the videos and like trying to take my own advice. And you can get off track in this game pretty easily. And
was there anything
learning process?
Was there anything from like the old episodes that you watched that stuck with you where you're like, oh, I wasn't thinking about that?
Yeah, just hammering home, like just thinking about the process and thinking about decision making and only focusing on playing well and your decisions and not attaching, not attaching any of the value to the wins or losses. And there was definitely plenty of run bad and bad spots and unlucky runouts and just whatever you want to call it, bad luck. But there's so many hands where I want back and I was just not playing well.
Yeah.
And I wasn't seeing that. And so, yeah, I think this break is overdue. So a little time off the felt and more time in the ice.
Speaking of which, I'll be joining you. I'm back.
You're back at the gym.
Squash fitness, man.
Hell yeah. I've been walking like 15,000 steps a day.
It's the way to do it.
That helps. Getting outside.
Dude, I've always said that there's nothing like running. I mean, it clears your noggin in a way that I don't think any other workout can.
Yeah.
Because it just sucks. But it's fucking amazing. Brandon, were you running 2 days ago over by the lake?
No, I run inside.
There was some guy with long hair that looked exactly like you. And I rolled my window down and I went, "Let's go, Brandon." And this guy just kind of looked back at me, but my long distance vision wasn't good enough to tell if it was you or somebody else.
No, yeah, I started running again, but only on the treadmill.
Yeah, if I'm like, according to the doctor, I have 20/20 vision, but if you're 50 yards away from me, I have no idea who. It could be you. It could totally be someone else. So, but
I'm golfing a lot more.
Yeah, dude,
I shot a 79.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
First time I broke 80 in years. So dude, that's fun.
I think the golf is good. Like, I think it's not to always bring it back to the stand-up metaphor, man. I think there's a problem that I get into when I start performing really, really bad is when I get like hyper focused on stand-up and I'm like obsessed with my career and where things are going instead of just sort of like walking around and just enjoying what's naturally funny to me, and fucking around with my friends and having fun. Yeah. And I think, so I wanted to ask you, you're playing that guy heads up, right?
Yeah.
And you have top set. That seems to me to be a situation where there was not a miscalculation. Everything's going to say you got top set, heads up, you got to go all in. But there's probably some situations where like you can look back on it and say, I want that hand back. I want to do that one again.
Yeah, tons of hands where your vision gets cloudy and you make excuses for poor play or you don't acknowledge that you're playing bad and you're just tilting. And you cover it up with like, oh, like that was just an unfortunate spot or that was a bad run out. I'm running bad. Like tons of stuff excuses will come up in your psychology, in your brain to just whatever you can do to make it not your fault and put the blame elsewhere and then keep playing. And the quicker you acknowledge that you're playing poorly, and really like look at it for what it is, then the quicker you can get back on track. But there's a few sessions in a row there where I stop acknowledging my poor play and
you start saying, I can't catch a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you become the victim, and there's so many people that like eternally live as victims, especially at the poker table.
Yeah.
Where it's like these things are just happening to them and there's no control and there's nothing I can do, and you're dead in the water when you have that mindset. You have to take accountability.
The ability to see through your own bullshit in poker has got to be one of the less talked about skill sets.
Yeah.
in the game where you're going like, all right, this is my fault. I am not playing like myself. This is not good.
Yeah. It's a trait amongst the guys that make it. They're just analyzing what they can do and they're taking accountability and they're not placing blame anywhere else. That's the only thing to do. It's like, okay, well, how could I have played that spot better? What could I have done? And for a bit there, I got way off track, and there was one spot where I 3-bet same guy, and the flop's like Jack 7-4, and I have Ace 7. And we're playing shorthanded, and I 3-bet him pre, and he calls, and he's tilting, and he's super wide, and he leads out like 4,000 or 5,000 into the flop, and I'm like, okay, this is he just doesn't have anything. I've seen this spot a million times. I call, turns a black 6. He checks. There's not a whole lot of reason for me to bet. I check behind, and the river's another black 6, and then he just fires out like a pot-sized bet. I was like, perfect. This is a perfect bluff catcher. Mm-hmm. He's just blasting off, and I call the 11,000 or whatever it was, and he just has 10-6 offsuit, and he goes backdoor 6-6, and those are the things that keep happening over and over and over, and I slam the table.
It's not like you.
No,
it's not like you at all.
No, and that's another big sign. It's like, if I'm the last time I visibly was shook or slammed the table or threw cards, I remember it. It was at Palms. I was on a huge downswing, losing session after session, just getting beat down, and I took the cards and I this is years ago, and I chucked them off the table. And that
you
was
get thrown out for doing that?
No, not like you get reprimanded depending on where you're playing. But in private settings, you just new setup, get a new deck. But that was like, okay, there's your sign. Take a break,
buddy.
A break. Like you can't even like compose yourself. And then, so yeah, I slammed the table, with my fist, and I'm like, oh, and immediately, and it happened a couple times. It's like, how many more signs do you need to step away from the game? If you can't compose yourself, then you're not in control.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's a huge sign. Mistakes are made, and yeah, all I can do is try to regroup.
Well, it's admirable that you're at least taking the break and trying to regroup, where I feel like, yeah, you can always say, hey, I should have done this, 2 sessions ago, right? But I feel like the average person is never going to have the awareness to do that at all. They're just going to sit around and go, fucking another bad beat. There it is. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he had a straight. Come on. Just can't win. Damn it. That's me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's easy to be a victim.
Yeah.
Of circumstance.
Do you ever, when you get beat down like this, come back and try to switch up the stakes a little bit? Like maybe play for lower stakes to take a little bit of the pressure off and get back in the rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely don't jump into like the biggest game possible with a tough lineup.
Yeah, you're not playing 200, 400 when you get right back.
A lot of the games that I'm in now, they're established and the players are pretty much the same. Mm-hmm. There might be 1 or 2 new guys in and out, but like the games that I'm in now, they're pretty much set.
Yeah.
So,
but what about going to like TCH and playing 5-10 for a week just to get the wheels back under you?
I'll pass. Yeah, no, my public playing days are over. Those are not, I mean, yeah, like if I'm with a friend or just to kill time, but like no.
Yeah.
No, that's, those games are tough. They're tough to sit through. It's, Yeah, it's pretty much the private scene.
But just like under fluorescent lighting with a bunch of people that stink and are trying to grind out.
Yeah, it's
$20 an hour.
I mean, you do meet a lot of miserable people, but there's some good ones too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I mean, I get what you're saying, but no, I just typically just stick to the established games that I have, the private stuff that I play. But what does happen is after a break, you kind of like recalibrate, and you can. So a lot of the games I play, you buy whatever you want, like or they're match the stack or they're whatever. Like you can kind of go off the rails, which is what I did for a while. Like I didn't have a stop loss. There was no governor.
Yeah.
And so maybe when I come back, I implement a stop loss, or, I don't buy in as deep, which is, it's very tough for me, to not cover everyone on the table. Cause that's where you get your value as the experienced player, is the deeper you play, the bigger the edge.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's hard to not buy in deep, but yeah, there's a few things I can do that I might do when I get back, just to put some the rails on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep the car on the
yeah.
Keep the car on the road.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
But that's why I sent the video to Brandon that I did. Do you know Daniel Negreanu's history with high stakes poker?
I know a lot about him, but I don't know if
Talking
I know his
in the
whole
mic.
history. I know a lot about him, but I don't know if I know his whole history.
Okay, so Daniel Negreanu has won, millions and millions of dollars playing poker.
Yep.
Tournaments, cash. He's an absolute legend of the game. He was the guy that took. He might be the single-handed like worst running player on high stakes poker. That for season after season, Daniel Negreanu was torched and miserable, and just taking beat after beat after. He was he was the whipping post. And this video I sent is I think it's an accumulation of a bunch of those hands. Mm-hmm. Where, I mean, he lost tons and tons of money season after season. And I think some of these hands are just pure run bad. But we can talk about, maybe the losing caught up to him and he got, brain fog, and some of these hands he didn't have to lose as much as he did.
Yeah. It's like, that was a bad beat, but that was.
But also,
great.
Yeah.
All right, let's let it rip.
What's it called? Grotto you talking about? It's Italian.
This is an old one, huh? What is this, like 02? Oh.
So Daniel wakes up with two blackjacks. They're
You've
playing.
woken up with two blackjacks, huh?
I lost a massive pot with two blackjacks. 2 weeks ago.
Some people have said like pocket jacks are the hardest hand to play. Do you agree with that?
No, those people don't.
Of course I don't want it. Threes are crap. Sometimes they call threes.
They don't know what they're doing. Holy fuck.
Pocket jacks is an incredible hand, and I would take it every single hand.
What a table. Tom Dwan's going through it right now, and Doyle's dead, so this is crazy seeing everybody here.
All right, so
Granu's got Jack.
Daniel opens to 2,800. He gets called in 3 spots from both the blinds and Peter Eastgate to his left. Okay.
Bad flop for Daniel.
2, 4, 7.
Yeah, flops 2, 4, 7, 2 diamonds, and
out there, so Daniel doesn't want anybody drawing.
But he bets 8,000 here.
Daniel C bets 8K. So Benjamin flops middle set.
I got 200.
This is also this is pre-solver error. So this poker is being played on experience, feel. These guys talk poker. They talk poker amongst themselves and with their other with friends that they value their opinion. But yeah, the hands that Negreanu is ahead of are, you know, like 7x of diamonds.
Peter might slow him down.
All right, so
maybe like maybe 2-10s, but
Yep, he just calls.
we're putting in a lot of money into a single raise pot. That was
He's gonna
Peter
fold.
says,
Yep.
excuse me. Now, if a diamond comes here, it might save Daniel some money. Or if a
yeah.
jack
So there's
comes,
103K in the
real
middle.
lucky.
How about
Oh,
number 4?
fuck. By the way, I like that they're trying to make the set look like high stakes, high class. It kind of looks like someone's stepmom's house.
Yeah, that's a great set.
Or like your dad's finished
I
basement.
love these studios back in the day. This was at Golden Nugget. Yeah, so the last thing he wants Daniel to do is fold, so he picks a smaller sizing.
Bet, because if Daniel is drawn out of flush, he wants Daniel to continue drawing. And if Daniel has the overpair, he wants Daniel to call.
I'm trying to take it there. You don't.
This is fun. I like this actually. It's a cool hand.
Everybody where I won't make anybody mad.
Is that what you're saying when you were losing? This is fun, actually. Cool hand.
It is fun.
There might have been some of that.
Right?
I like the whole card camera,
one of
too.
those, buddy.
The
Free
glass.
RFID.
Yeah.
All right, I'm all in.
What?
You got a full house? Quads? That's good too.
Called my hand. I was like, what is quads?
All right, I can't win then. If you got quads, I can't win. Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Huh?
No straight flush outs?
No, I don't have a straight or a flush draw.
This show, they got
Either had that or he had.
I had the 7 and the flush.
All right, so do you think that's a bad beat, or is he just in a terrible spot there and shouldn't be doing anything with jacks in that situation?
It's a bit of both. I mean, I think to play this big of a pot with 2 jacks, you really want your opponent to be extremely loose, splashy. You know, on the punty side. And so, yeah, I think this might just be putting in too much money with 2 jacks here.
I would have done that bet just in case you're drawing. So I would have found out if I had the 7 and the flush.
No. All right. You got 200 there?
And Daniel's going to have to reload.
But yeah, I mean, some of the times he's going to be up against like 8-6 of diamonds, you know, a straight draw, flush draw, and then put that hand in a horrible position. And so then he'll look, you know, like a genius in that spot. But yeah, like the run that David goes on this, Daniel goes on in this show is it's pretty epic. This is another one.
Let's watch it.
Jack 8. I don't know why I say Jack 8. Maybe David's meaningless lies are catchy.
So this one he has 9-10 of hearts, raises to 2K.
Lingering calls with his pocket 8s.
By the way, Daniel Negreanu, talk about a guy that got better looking with age.
I don't eat the cheese either.
He got in the gym.
Really?
Yeah, I went to
You're drawing dead on that bet.
You're not over
a gym like 2 years ago during the World Series, and he was working out at squat rack next to me.
Lifetime.
Getting after it?
Yeah, he's getting after it.
Somebody call?
He's a guy that wears gloves while he works out.
Give me $1,000.
How are you gonna win?
No, he paid me already. And if I'm
So this
ever
is
over, I gotta pay him,
it's a single raise pot.
Ooh.
Single raise pot.
Oh my
It's heads
God.
up. He flops his stones.
4,000.
8 Jack 10.
Lingering calls.
That's 4K.
One more time. Daniel Negreanu flops the nuts.
It's 13.
Oh no!
13
Come on,
13 in the
that's
middle.
fucking crazy.
Opponent turns quads. Bets close to pot again.
Flop the nuts one more time. And Eric Lindgren, like Gus Hansen, has made quads, and Eric Lindgren is not acting as fast as Gus Hansen did. Eric Lindgren doesn't know what to do.
Which one's Linger? This guy?
Trying to figure
Yeah.
out what his best play
Pretending to be thinking about it.
Daniel Negreanu's bet 12,000.
So single raise pot, you're not gonna be up against queens and jacks a lot. They're gonna 3-bet pre. So the hands that Daniel loses to is pretty much quad 8s, Jack 8 suited and like Queen 8 suited.
He just calls there?
It's very little queens, very little jacks. There's some ace 8 in there now too, like ace 8 suited.
So he's just trying to give Negreanu rope to.
Well, yeah, he's just calling to let Daniel Negreanu stay in the pot. Yeah, he doesn't want him. With stack sizes too, he's just going to be all in on the river. He didn't need to raise turn.
25 into 62, or 25 into whatever was there, 37 before. Here we go.
This is where I think if Negreanu wasn't flustered and was playing really well, he can bet fold this river.
All in.
See him slam the table.
How can I flop the nuts every single hand and lose? What in the world is going on?
Yeah, he's had enough.
Are you kidding me?
That was enough.
This is after getting beat down hand after hand after hand after hand. That slamming the table is not about this hand. That slamming the table is about session after session of just getting destroyed and getting your face beaten in. Yeah, this is.
Brother, man.
He's just so over it.
Anytime you shouldn't call, it's this time.
You guys just be kidding me.
Yeah.
So how do you fold a straight in this situation? Like, are you possibly putting him on eights?
Yeah.
He's not raising with ace queen. He's not raising with queen.
Because when you get raised, you're beat.
Man.
Yeah.
So
You're
sick.
beat by full house.
Raise with king 10.
How much is it? He doesn't have king 10. We know that.
That's what, 50?
Daniel has eliminated that hand.
Wow.
And if he was seeing it clearly,
There was no flush draw on the flop.
he can find a fold. But he's super tilted. He's visibly shaken. Slams the table. This is.
Daniel should realize in this hand that he's beat.
I mean,
He should realize that
there's every poker player has been in this spot where you're defeated.
So you're only beaten
How
by
can I flop the nuts?
You're beaten
two
by
hands.
You're beaten by way more than two hands.
Okay, wait. So eight
Jack
and
eights.
eight, and then eight and anything else. Eight and a pair. Yeah. So okay, there's a few hands.
Jack 8 suited, Queen 8 suited, quad 8s, Ace 8 suited.
I gotta figure out a hand.
Sometimes a little bit of jacks. Sometimes jacks just calls pre. Sometimes queens just call pre, but it's very little bit of that.
Okay, yeah.
It's a little
Aces
bit of
win,
that.
jacks win, queens win. Yeah. Okay.
Aces are going to 3-bet, queens are going to 3-bet pre, but it's all it's quads, it's Jack 8s, it's Queen 8s.
He might raise me.
Why isn't this an easy laydown for Daniel, Gabe?
So he's going through the hands. He's like, yeah, jacks are going to most likely 3-bet pre. It's hard to see quads, especially when you're frustrated.
Doesn't look like Daniel's going to get away from this.
It's hard to watch. You're just playing from a position of you're just
I don't know what he
defeated.
has. I have no idea. I'm just gonna call. Full house is good. 4-8s. 4-8s. That's about right. He's so sick.
When Daniel watches this, I think he's going to realize what a bad call that was.
And there's more. It doesn't stop for Daniel.
Brutal. That's brutal. Going up against quads.
Yeah.
Well, we did it.
Phew.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
I know. Well, I said
That's
that
all-
to you. I said that to you like 2 days ago. You're like, stop saying that.
Everyone. That's the only thing everyone always says is like when you're going through hard times, is you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right. Yeah,
like,
it still
am I?
sucks.
Yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that it sucks.
What do you want me to say? If you could get me to say anything, what do you want me to say?
Just say you're
That
gay.
sucks. That sucks, and you're gay.
Yeah.
All right. So, as takers of our own advice, this is what we're gonna do.
We're gonna take a break.
Yes.
Yes, a couple weeks to reset and reflect. Things aren't stable for me, and kind of like a lot of shit's gone bad at once, not just poker. So I'm not in a great headspace, and I think I just need some time off. So we're going to take a few weeks off, and then I think we're going to record a heads up match for our 50th episode.
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We're going to decide what the stakes are. So if you're listening to the pod, obviously,
maybe it'll be our lives. One of us will die.
Dude, I mean, me and JC went out to.
I'm gonna have the nuts and just fold it face down, so somebody kills me. You win, Joe.
Don't kill yourself, please. But we were driving by that. We were having lunch the other day. There's like a drill book academy where you learn how to do like military style hip hop dancing. I think the loser having to put out a full hip hop dance video would be really funny.
I'm down for that. It sounds like a win-win. I love the joke's on you. I love military hip hop dancing.
Oh my God, that'd be so funny. What if we just decided to play for cash, and I'm liquidating my account. I'm gonna put in 20K. Like, let's do it, and then I clean you out and just make you quit poker
forever.
That would be the ultimate end to the podcast and your career.
And then I start giving life advice. I just give life advice now.
Yeah, you become a life coach.
I become a life coach. Yeah,
that's the ultimate path of failure in stand-up. Is if you really if you're super charismatic but you just suck and you're not funny, that's what you do.
Yeah.
So
charge $5,000 a session.
$5,000 a session, baby. So this is what we're gonna do for the pod. If you have any ideas for what me and JC should play for, we want to hear it. So if you've got ideas, leave them in the comments. And then
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, just come up with some ideas. We're gonna do it. And then the other thing that we want to know too is, do you want to see the entire heads up match or just a breakdown of the highlights? Let us know.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys.
Let's do it. We love you guys. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Yeehaw.
Sweet.